Welcome to multiplying. I have a lot of tricks to show you here. Let's get started. I've never been good at memorizing stuff, so memorizing the multiplication tables was a real trial for me, and it didn't stick long. So what I do instead is figure it out when I need to. I'll show you the method I use with 8s because 8s are the hardest. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 2 times 8 plus 8, so 16 plus 8, which is 24. 4 times 8 is 2 times 8 times 2. 16 times 2 is 32. This works great for small numbers, but it gets out of hand after 4. 5s are special. We can easily count by 5s, lifting a finger for each one until we get to 8. But that can get out of hand for big numbers. What works the best is to cut the number in half and move the decimal. This works because 5 is the same as 10 halves. So dividing by 2 is the half, and multiplying by 10 is the multiplying by 10 part. This method can be used no matter how large the number. Consider 5 times 2,468. Cut it in half and get 1234. Multiplying by 10, we get 12340. So 5 times 2,468 is 12,340. Your turn. Pause the video and multiply 58 times 5. "58 divided by 2 is 50 divided by 2, which is 25, plus 8 divided by 2, which is 4. 25 plus 4 is 29. Add the 0, and we have 58 times 5 is 290. Another trick uses 5s and 20s, and the fact that 20 times 5 is 100. So for multiplying by either 20 or 5, we can use that to simplify the problem. Consider 47 times 5. We could cut it in half, but since the number is odd, that'll be awkward. Since we know that 20 times 5 is 100, we can take out two 20s and just do 7 times 5 equals 35. 200, one for each 20, plus 35 is 235. The same is true for 4s and 25s. 4 times 29 equals 4 times 25 plus 4 times 4, which is 100 plus 16, or 116. We can also use the subtraction trick. 49 times 4 is the same as 50 times 4 minus 4. 50 is 2 25s, so that's 200. 200 minus 4 is 196. This simplifies things quite a bit. Unfortunately, 4s and 5s are the only numbers it works on. You can do it with 2s as well, but it's just not worth the time. Try it. Stop the video and do 61 times 5 and 23 times 4. "61 is 3 20s, so 300, plus 1 times 5 makes it 305. 23 times 4 is 25 times 4 minus 2 times 4, which is 100 minus 8, which is 92. Okay, let's get back to the multiplication table. Let's look at multiplying 6, 7, and 8. 6 times 8 is 5 times 8 plus 8, so 40 plus 8 is 48. 7 times 8 is 5 times 8 plus 2 times 8. 40 plus 16 is 56. 8 times 8 is 5 times 8 plus 2 times 8, which is 56, plus 8, 64. We can also use a trick where we multiply by an easier number and subtract. 8 equals 10 minus 2, so 8 times 8 equals 80 minus 16, or 64. When I did the subtraction in my head, I subtracted the 10 first and then the 6. Now let's look at 9s. There are two ways to do 9s. The fastest way, if you have your hands free, is to use your fingers. You've heard of counting on your fingers. Well, this is multiplying on your fingers. To multiply 9 times 8, we spread our hands out and fold down the finger of the number we're multiplying by, in this case, the 8. The number of fingers to the left of the folded finger, 7, is the number in the tens column. On the number of fingers to the right, 2, gives the number in the ones column. So 9 times 8 is 72. Stop the video and try it yourself with 9 times 6. We fold over the right thumb for 6. That gives us a 5 to the right and 4 to the left, making 9 times 6, 54. The second trick to nines is a bit more complicated, but can be used when you don't want to move your hands. Let's look at all the factors of 9. We can start at the top and write the numbers 0 to 9, and then turn around and write them going up as well. This gives us all the factors of 9 from 1 to 10. But what if we only want the 9 times 8? Well, we're not done with the trick yet. Notice the tens digit is the number we're multiplying minus 1. And if you add the ones and tens digits, they'll add up to 9. So to find 8 times 9, we subtract 1 from 8 to get 7. That's the tens digit. Now we subtract 9 minus 7 and get 2. That's the ones digit. 8 times 9 is 72. Try some of these methods yourself. Pause the video and do the multiplications on the screen. Six times 7 can be broken down into 5 times 7 plus 7, which is 35 plus 7, or 42. When multiplying 5s, we cut it in half. 250 cut in half is 125. Then tack on a 0 for 1250. You can hold up your hands and put down the fourth finger, or you can subtract 1 from 4 and get 3, and 3 from 9 to get 6. Either way, we have 36. Remember the trick we did to multiply by 8s from the easier tens? We can do that with larger numbers as well. For example, let's multiply 17 times 19. That's an ugly problem, and I don't want to do it. So let's make it easier. Let's write 19 as 20 minus 1. So 17 times 19 is 17 times 20 minus 17. We multiply 17 by 20, which is 17 times 2, with a 0 stuck on the end. Then we subtract off a 17 to get 323. Actually, in my head, I subtracted off 20 and then added 3 like we did in the subtraction section. Your turn. Turn off the video and multiply 28 times 12. "30 times 12 is 360. 2 times 12 is 24. 360 minus 24 is 360 minus 20, which is 340, minus another 4, so 336. This is all well and good, but what about when the numbers aren't so nice? For example, 37 times 13. I split this up into 37 times 10 and 37 times 3. 37 times 10 gives us 370. Now we have 37 times 3. First we do the tens column. 3 times 3 to get 9, which is 90. We add that to the 370 right away, so we don't have to hold that many numbers in our head. That gives us 460. Then we just have to multiply 3 times 7. That's 21, which we add to the 460 to get 481. Your turn. Pause the video and do 14 times 17. Did you get 238? 14 times 17 is 10 times 17 plus 4 times 17. 17 times 10 is 170. We then split the 4 times 17 into 4 times 10 and 4 times 7. 4 times 10 is 40, which we add to the 170 to get 210. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 plus 210 is 238. This technique also comes in handy when multiplying fractions times whole numbers. For example, let's look at 2 3/5 times 8. Standard practice would have us change the mixed number to an improper fraction, multiply, and then change it back to a mixed number. This makes the numbers larger than they have to be, which in turn makes the problem more difficult. Rather than needing to multiply 8 times 13 and divide 104 by 5, we can split the mixed number so that we have 2 times 8 is 16, and 3 times 8 is 24. Then we divide 24 by 5. That gives us 4 4/5. We add the 4 to the 16 and get 20 4/5. One tricky thing with doing mental math is keeping the places straight. The easiest way to handle that is to get rid of the zeros, so you're only holding the numbers you actually need in your head. Let's look at 120,000 times 0.004. This is actually 12 times 4, which is 48, with the decimal moved around a bit. To get to 12 from 120,000, we need to move the decimal 4 places to the right. We'll call moving places to the right positive. To get 4 from 0.004, we need to move the decimal 3 places to the left. If right is positive, left is negative. Adding the two movements results in the decimal moving 1 place to the right. So after we do the multiplication, we just add a single 0. Let's look at why this works. We can write 120,000 times 0.004 as 12 times 10,000 times 4 divided by 1,000. We cancel the zeros and we get 12 times 10 times 4, which is 12 times 4, 48, times 10, 480. Your turn. Pause the video and multiply 0.0034 by 5,000. First, we need to get rid of all the extra zeros, keeping a count of how many times we move the decimal. We move it 3 times to the left and 4 times to the right, so the result is moving it 1 place to the right. When we're done, we need to move it 1 place to the left, which is dividing by 10, because we have to put that decimal place back. We can multiply 34 by 5 by splitting it in half to get 17, and multiplying by 10 to get 170. Then we move the decimal place to the left to get 17. If we remembered that moving the decimal to the left is the same as dividing by 10, we could have stopped when we got 17 when we were dividing by 5. One last one. Let's multiply 54 times 32. First thing we do is split 32 into 30 plus 2. We'll be multiplying these separately. Next we have 30 times 54. We pull the 0 off and multiply 3 times 54. 3 times 50 is 150, 3 times 4 is 12. So 3 times 54 is 150 plus 12, or 162. And we put the 0 back on and we get 30 times 54 is 1620. Now we handle the 2 we pulled off in the beginning. 2 times 54 is 108. 50 times 2 plus 4 times 2. And add the 108 to the 1620, we get 1728. 32 times 54 is 1728. Wow, that was a lot to remember. But hopefully you still have some brain space left, because next up we've got division.